I used to track every single thing I did throughout every single workday, and at the end of the day, I'd give myself an efficiency score. Initially, what I found was that 85% of my hours working were actually spent working, whereas the rest of the hours were spent on my phone, away from my desk, getting food, going to the washroom, whatever it was. So in a day that I spent 10 hours working, excluding like lunch breaks and things like that, I'd be working 8.5 solid hours, and 90 minutes were just completely lit on fire pretty much. Multiply that by 5 days in a week, that's 7.5 hours. Multiply that by 4 weeks in a month, that's about 30 hours, another 4.35 weeks in a month, but you get the idea. But after a month and a half of doing this tracking regularly, I found that I was able to increase that 85% figure to 97% on 10 hours per day of work. Meaning every day of working 10 hours of work, again, excluding breaks, I'd be working 9 hours and 42 minutes of that entire time. The rest of the time being spent getting a glass of water, going to the washroom, whatever. And then only 18 of those minutes were actually burned. And to this day, I maintain that same efficiency, which is great. So my first productivity tip is to track every single thing that you do throughout the workday. Probably not what you want to hear, but it is so overpowered. And here's why. If you track anything, it makes you aware of the problem. If you're inefficient with your work hours, this makes you aware of your inefficiency and makes you want to naturally improve it. And you get dopamine from improving your efficiency and seeing your numbers rise as you do weighing yourself every day and seeing your weight go up or down depending on what you're trying to do. And I recommend you do this efficiency score exercise if you're really trying to take your agency or any business for that matter seriously and trying to scale it as fast as possible. So all you have to do for that exercise is really simple. I create a little spreadsheet. I create maybe 5, 6, 7 different blank entry spots. And every single hour I update it and write exactly how many minutes I spend on different tasks. Now, one thing that's important about this too is that you need to be honest with yourself. Like a really important thing in business in general is being honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, then you're not going to get anything done. You're not going to do the right work and you're not going to get the results you want. So if you can't be honest with yourself, you're not going to get what you want in the end anyway. So just be honest with yourself. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. Tip number 2 is something I actually only started implementing in the past couple of months, but it has changed a lot for me, which is putting your phone on Do Not Disturb. Now, before, what I would do is put my phone, and I still do it. That's actually hilarious. I have my phone right now. I don't know why I even have it, but usually I throw my phone onto my bed, which is behind my monitors here, and I would throw it down face down, so that way when the screen lights up, I wouldn't see it underneath or beside my monitor or anything like that. But especially if you're leaving it on your desk, like right now it is on my desk, it's face up. And whenever a notification comes on, the screen lights up and diverts your attention to it, right? So turning on Do Not Disturb is just a really good way to have those pop-ups stop coming up so that you stop getting in the habit of picking up your phones like a million times a day. If you want, it comes down to what your preferences are, but you can also track your screen time on your phone and like record that in a spreadsheet every day and pay attention to that if you're trying to get your screen time down. Or you can also track the total number of pickups per day for your phone if you have an iPhone. I don't know how it works with Androids, but it does calculate the number of times you pick up your phone during the day. That's a different metric that you can track as well if that's something you're into. But point being, the less you're on your phone, the less you're getting distracted and your attention's getting diverted. And the reason this is even important in the first place is because of flow state. Probably heard of flow state. It's essentially the concept of getting lost in your work and nothing exists other than what you're doing. And it doesn't even have to be work. It can be a sport. It can be whatever. But in work, ideally, you want to be in a flow state because then you're like really focused in and really productive. A lot of people say, oh, I have ADHD. Trust me, I'm no medical professional, but odds are you probably don't. And your phone's just distracting the living hell out of you. Now, if you really can't control yourself in picking up your phone, which trust me, I understand it's a really difficult habit to kick. What you can do is you can have a roommate or a parent or somebody around you take your phone from you during X hours per day and only giving it to you during your lunch break or after you're done work. Another thing that you can do is you can actually buy a phone lockbox on Amazon. I haven't done this, but I've heard of people doing it, where you can put your phone in this box, close it, and it's like this glass thing. And you can set a timer on it so that it stays locked until the timer hits 0, and then you can open it up and take out whatever's in there. So if you're trying to kick any type of bad habit, that's a great way that you can do it as well. Again, I've never tried it. I don't even have like an Amazon link for you or anything like that. Just look up like phone lockbox on Amazon. That'll probably give it to you. And that's another way to prevent yourself from distractions. But one thing that's true, that is very interesting, that I forgot where I learned it from, but I'm pretty sure it's some of those billionaires basically. But what you want to do is less, not more. You don't want to start 3 businesses. You don't want to be running your business and on your phone all day and doing this and doing that and doing a specific morning routine and doing a whatever, right? Like, just try to do less. And I'll give you a simple little example. Whenever I record these videos, I type to my editor in our Slack channel saying, hey, I just uploaded this video to the folder, just wanted to let you know. But today I asked him, finally, I was like, do you even need me to tell you this? Because when I share it with you on Google Drive, like, do you get an email notification? And let me check if he replied. Okay, he didn't reply yet, but I'm hoping that he says, no, you don't need to tell me this, because then I can just upload everything to the Google Drive folder, share it with his email, and then he'll get a notification whenever I upload a video to that folder and share it with him, so that I just don't even have to message him that I've done it anymore, right? The less that you can do, the less overwhelmed your mind gets. And when you're starting out, it probably isn't even an issue for you. I used to be a crazy perfectionist, like, how could this person have a typo in their email? Like, that's ridiculous. But the busier you get, the more I'm going on a crazy tangent here, but the busier you get, the more you realize that people make mistakes oftentimes because they're overwhelmed. And having your phone on the desk beside you, not on Do Not Disturb, which mine at least is on Do Not Disturb, so don't kill me. But having it constantly flashing and giving you notifications, especially on Ringer. If your phone's on Ringer, you are killing yourself. I prefer being on silent anyway, but keep your phone on silent. Do Not Disturb is even better. And better yet, again, throw it on your bed away from you. Some people have to put it in another room and at the top of a closet or something like that, or again, in a lockbox. So pretty interesting little productivity tip, but that allows me to get more done during the week so that I can fully take Saturday and Sunday off and even Friday evenings off, go spend time with my girlfriend, maintain that relationship, see friends here and there. Sometimes I can even take, weekday evenings off now because I have sales reps in place. And what you want to do is maximize the amount of work you can get done in any given time frame, for example, a week or a month or a year, so that you can get to your goals faster and then reclaim your time in the future. Because essentially what you're doing is you're paying down your time debt, something that Hormozy will say. You have to get good. And the easiest or the fastest way to get good is by doing more, putting more reps in, he'll say. Doing more work in as short of a time period as possible. So if you can maximize your efficiency and win those 31 hours per month back through doing the efficiency score exercise and then eliminating distractions with your phone by getting rid of it, hiding it away, whatever you need to do, and combining that with some type of accountability exercise that I've talked in other videos, you can become way more productive, like really fast, and then get to a point in your business where you put some people in place and then you're like, wait, what do I even do now? Because that's kind of where I've been the last week or so. Like, I'm here recording a bunch of videos today because I'm going to be honest, I don't really know what to do. Like, I've got a guy fully managing all my client accounts. I've got sales reps in place now. I've got an appointment setter in place. I take the odd sales call because we're still ramping and training the sales reps. I do some meetings during the week, but in reality, if I want to right now, I can work 7 hours a week on my agency. Maybe 9, maybe 10, but that's nothing. And I intend on continuing to work 60 to 65 hours a week. So number 1, track everything you do every single hour, calculate your efficiency score every single day for at least 2 months, or at least a month, 30 to 40 days is a good minimum amount to do. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb, and if you really need it, put your phone in a lockbox or something like that. I guess the second and third tips are kind of the same thing, so sorry to bait you there, but I did give you a bunch of random information, so I hope that makes up for it. Watch whatever's on screen. I will see you there.